So the following is the tutorial for creating the cover for the Bits and Bytes magazine that CSI-NSIT publishes every quarter. Now the first thing that you want to do while designing this cover is decide what's going to be in your content. You have to have one cover story and 3 to 4 other stories. You could visit websites like The Verge, Recode, or TechCrunch for that. Over here I've picked up a bunch of stories which I found interesting on these websites. The next thing that you want to do over here is sketch your ideas. Now sketching should not involve a lot of time. You shouldn't um, spend your time on the details. It's just for an outline, and so don't take more than a minute to make your sketches. As you can see over here, the sketches are very rough. They were all made in a span of 3 minutes. And so I'll just pick one that I like the most. I'll go with the Hyperloop as my cover story. So let's see if we can draw grid lines on this. So here we have the grid layout for the Bits and Bytes cover. Over here we have a 2-column layout, and the emphasis is on the Hyperloop story. So let's begin with the Photoshop work then. So I'll just go ahead and create a new document. The size has to be the size of an A4 paper. The first thing you want to do over here is create the grid lines on the screen. So I'll just drag the cursor from the left edge of the screen and draw my margins and columns. So the grid lines really help you in creating a balance of the design and are in general a good design practice. Now with this we have a column layout ready. So now I'll just go ahead and make the rows as well. So we don't really need the top margin, so I'll just drag it out of the screen. So let's add the photos. I'll just drag and drop them onto the document that we are creating. The first thing that you want to do with the photos is that you want to convert them into smart filters so that you can resize them easily without getting the images blurred. I don't really want my image to cover that much size. I wanted to crop it. And one of the easiest way to crop an image is to draw a rectangle and mask it around it. So I just draw the rectangle now. As you can see over here, I'm leaving the top part where we'll put a header, and I'm focusing on the rows that encapsulate the cover story. To mask a layer, just right click on it and click on create clipping mask. I'll quickly add the others as well. As you can see over here, the image is pretty large, and I'll definitely want to reduce its size. And one of the quickest way to reduce the size is to transform the layer and adjust the percentage width and height. As you can see over here, these adjustments are much more precise and are sometimes better than just dragging and resizing your image. Looks like I have a decent size over here, and I'll just place it into the grid. Again, I'll draw a rectangle and mask it so that it fits into the grid. While resizing your image, you can also tap the link icon so that the aspect ratio of the image remains the same. So we'll follow the same steps over here as well, and draw a rectangle, mask the image so that it follows the grid. As you can see over here, the image doesn't look centered, so I'll just drag it down so you get a good and clear view of the central element. Let's add some text to our document then. So a lot of the design is really about picking up the right fonts and knowing what to use to add emphasis to your content. So I'll be using a generic font over here to write down Hyperloop. Tell you what we can do slightly better. We can use a condensed font instead, so that we get more emphasis on our central element of the magazine. This feels much better. We could use a completely different font for the caption, or we could use the same font as well. But over here, as we can see, there's not enough space to add a condensed font for the caption. So I'll be using a regular font, and let's try with Distractor. This doesn't look very futuristic to me. Looks more artistic. I'll pick up Rockwell then. So let's arrange it so that it covers the entire column width. So I'll just rearrange the Hyperloop image so that the image is clearly visible and is not covered by the text. So let's add some more text to the magazine cover. So let's give a BlackBerry story a title over here. So sometimes Photoshop really messes around with the line spacing of your text, and you can correct it by tapping the A icon on the right side of your screen and selecting the line spacing option to and set it to auto. If it's not set to auto, for a general rule, your line spacing should be 20% of what your font size is. Now I could use a bunch of different fonts over here, but really you want to maintain a typographic balance throughout the document and use as few fonts as possible. So in a magazine, we really want to give an overview of all the stories involved. I've picked up 4. You could add a few more if you have the space to do so. You'll probably want to mention that there's more inside the magazine too, and encourage users to flip through the pages. So I'll just add an indicator over here. Let's add the title of the magazine now. So as you can see, I've already drawn a baseline for the title, and we'll place the text over there. So let's save a document now. To export it into a PNG image, I'll just go for File and Quick Export as PNG. So this was really a quick demo for creating a cover for the magazine. This by no means is a complete cover. You could do a lot more with it, and you could explore a lot more. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please send over your feedback in the comment section.